Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the Special Interest Group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Hi, my name is Israel.
And I'm Dora.
And we are bringing you 100 ways to be money wiser, #5, which says to be money wiser is to respect everyone, regardless of race, religion, color, profession, looks, and many others, because we know that everyone has something that can complement us at one point in time. And they deserve respect simply because they are fellow special human beings in their own right.
In the society we live in, we have all sorts of people with different traits coming from different levels of life. The rich, the poor, the young, the old. And in so having that sort of life, the sense of respect is very, very important, because at the end of the day, could it be a church leader? Is it the politician? Is it the person from the market? At the end of the day, this person contributes to your financial life. So for that matter, therefore, we do not have to judge any book by its cover. So let's be money wiser.
Don't miss on U24.
Hi, my name is Doreen Tuhidire, coming to you from Be Money Wiser, and we're going to be bringing to you the hashtag 100 Ways to Be Money Wiser by Mrs. T. Tilda Nabandra. We're going to be running this hashtag 100 Ways to Be Money Wiser on U24 television. Don't miss out.
U24. Don't miss on U24.
Entrepreneurs Hub, giving you a deep and unique insight into agribusiness, services, ICT, and innovation, industrialization, and so much more. Entrepreneurs Hub, growing your small, medium, and large business entity. With yours truly, Sandra Kahunde.
Get your favorite health tips right here on U24. Maintain your kidney by drinking 8 to 10 glasses of water each day. This can be in form of soup, tea, water, cooked grains, and boiled vegetables.
Youth of Purpose.
Welcome, this is Youth of Purpose and you're watching U24 Television, your national youth development and education channel. We are broadcasting live here at Nile Avenue, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, your national broadcaster. Tonight, I welcome you to this show, and we are discussing the NRM primaries and the special interest group elections happening. What is taking place? How is the ruling NRM party doing, faring, but also how ready is the party, most especially the young people, in as far as getting ready for the general elections? And to discuss that today with me in studio, I have Karunji from my far left. Welcome to Youth of Purpose. Kindly say hello to the viewer.
Hello everyone, my name is Karunji Proskovia. I'm the current youth chairperson, Youth Council for Kampala Central, and the Sub-County Youth League, NRM, 241A, Kampala Central. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you so much, Karunji. And next to Karunji, very smartly dressed Brian Ainamani.
Yes.
Welcome to Youth of Purpose.
I'm humbled to be here. Good evening, viewers. This is Brian Ainaman, the upcoming Secretary for Labour Affairs, National Youth Council, Kampala Central Division. Happy to be here with you, sir.
Thank you, Brian. And right next to me, Chebet. Welcome to Youth of Purpose. Kindly say hello to the viewers.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Chebet Gloria, the current Female Affairs Kampala Central Division and the upcoming Female Youth Councillor, Kampala Central Division. It's nice to be here.
Thank you. You're all welcome. To start with you, Karunji, kindly, if you can, take us through what has been happening through the NRM primaries, and to start with the youth primary elections.
Thank you so much. To brief you, like the background of the youth structure, especially in NRM,
Okay.
we start by the villages. Like for the NRM, we have village committees. We first elect the 5 per village. We have 5 executives on the villages.
Okay.
We have the chairperson, we have the vice, we have the treasurer, we have the general secretary, and the publicity at a village level.
Okay.
Then from the village level, we go to the parishes. These 5 per villages sit and elect the 5 at the parish committee, and it becomes the parish committee leadership. We went through all that. From the parishes, we go to the sub-counties. The parishes sit and elect sub-counties. So from that phase, we were also done. Then from the sub-counties, we sit and vote the district committee, the one you hear, that the NRM District Committee Youth League. It also has 5 positions. Then from there, this is where we select the NRM committees that participate with other parties in the elections of the Electoral Commission, like for the elections that we've been in today. We get the flag bearers. This is now the National Youth Council. These are 9 committees. We have to vote the 9 NRM committees that participate with other parties. This is where other parties bring in their candidates to compete within the villages. So as we've been in today, those that went through on the village as NRM have been contesting with those that of other parties. Now, like here for Kampala, we've had NOOP.
Okay.
As a party, we've not gotten other parties. The FDC, I don't know, they did not participate or what. So at least in some parts of Kampala Central,
Yes.
we got competitors, but they were basically from NOOP. But as you know, our party has been structured all along, that we are always organized and we are always ready. So
Good. Before we go to the elections that happened today,
Yeah.
if you can kindly concentrate on what happened in the primaries, how fair were they, and how successful actually were those elections?
So for the parties, we did not have a lot of challenges as youth, because most cases, like for Kampala Central where I lead, we always harmonize on positions so that we don't get internal conflicts. Wherever you come up with conflicts within the party, this is where you get challenges when facing other parties. So basically, we did not have a lot of challenges, or we did not have a lot of internal fights as youth.
Yeah.
So we had that harmonizing tank. We had that consensus within ourselves. That's when we came up with a success. Like, it was a successful activity because we were basically on harmonizing. Yeah, we could see who is capable of doing what and whom are we seconding that will defeat another party that will come.
Okay.
So basically, that's how we did it.
Good. Thank you so much. Brian, have you been able to make sure that you get representatives, that's from the primaries that we had, to make sure that on every village and on every position you have a representative as the ruling party?
Yes, of course we have, and most of the villages that are around the parishes have been getting NRM. More so to concentrate on Kampala Central as a division.
Yeah.
I think most of the positions have been taken up by the NRM party. And that is to set a foundation. Each and everything that we are doing it in favor of our party. We are having ownership of the party and to make sure that at least each and every position belongs to our party. And that's what we have been doing. If you to look at all the parishes around, I don't think that other parties did get more of maybe 40%. They didn't.
Okay.
But we scoped all the positions, actually almost all the positions. And that is why maybe I want to also put this as a thanks token to the people that are helping the young people to come up, because it is not we that are standing on our positions as we as people. No, we are who we are because we are based onto the foundation of what the president and the people have been able to provide to us. So all the positions we have scoped.
Okay.
Yes, Kampala Central, that is all sorted. I don't know to some other divisions to say and other districts, but I know all around all those parishes, all those villages, the villages in those parishes, we have won the biggest percentage.
Okay, that's good. Chebet, you've participated in these NRM primaries, and you've been seeing what has been happening. What is your take in as far as mobilization and getting organized to get set for the general election?
Thank you very much. Me personally, basing on the experience because I've been in the field since morning, we the youth have directly participated in this because we mobilized us. NRM is divided into like blocks. There is block 1A, like in Kampala Central, we have in NRM, Kampala Central is counted as a district.
Okay.
And in our district as Kampala Central, we have 4 blocks. That is 1A, 1B, 2A, and 2B. So we use the leadership of blocks. As a committee, we make sure, like we sat down yesterday, we were like, chairperson of this block, we are going to focus on our block. We are going to work as a team.
Okay.
We are going to work as a team to make sure each and every village in Kampala, like within our blocks, get the NRM youth in the structures. So we focused more on mobilizing ourselves with the small help from the secretariat, though it came in a bit late, but they made sure we got the help. We as a team of youth, we used our leaders within the communities to make sure we are on ground, helping others to make sure we win.
Okay.
Yes, and
Thank
I
you.
directly participated.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Karunji, Kampala is looked at to be as an opposition stronghold. And from what you've been saying here, starting from you up to Chebet, it's like you have hoped all the election positions that are for the youth. Why does Kampala look like it's an opposition stronghold up, but then when we come to the youth council, you're having youth scooping all these positions, and if actually you are there, what are you doing? Why is the impact not being felt when it comes to voting upwards, when it comes to the big positions? And if you can also paint for us the picture of what the temperature is like, the fact that now we are getting, actually I think today, starting with you, having these youth elections, how is the temperature for the general election?
Thank you so much. As I told you, like for NRM, we've been, the setting was organized, we were structured. So it is very hard for other parties that have just dominated to come up and win a party that has been formally structured.
But they've been winning you.
Not for the youth, even according to the statistics of the former elections, actually last elections, we won 99%. Me personally.
So what happens? My question is, what happens?
It is because for us, as I told you, we've been structured. You find that we have a youth committee at the village, the 9 You get it? We have the 9 that are structured.
Okay.
We have the 9 on the village, we have the 9 at the parish, we have a startup. So a party that has just come up, it comes up without any structure. So it is not easy to come and win a party that has structures on the ground.
Why don't you use the same when it comes to voting for your MPs?
For the MPs, actually, for the youth, you know this is a special interest group. And those that vote the youth are not the whole village that votes. It is the one that vote a chairperson is also voted.
Okay.
You get it? We go through a process of, actually it's like a delegates conference. You get it?
Okay.
It is a small number that votes a leader.
So it's not the general public that votes for?
No, it's not the general public that votes. If you're coming as a chairperson of the parish, it is a committee that has been voted on the village that votes. It's not the entire what? It is not the entire village.
So you make sure that you defranchise the others that would vote you out, and you maintain those that definitely do vote you. Thank you so much. Brian, my question is, why don't you use the same power? Okay, she's saying you don't have the general public voting for the youth council. Why don't you use the same power? She's talking about the structures. Why are those structures not working when it comes to elections for the MPs, for the president? We saw what happened in Kawempe. Why can't you be able to do the same mobilization?
Now you see, the Munyankore or the Banyankore have a saying that if you want to direct a certain kind of a generation, you have to start from its bud. Now, that is something that most of the parties that have not seen, but of which NRM is doing, and it is doing it in the right magnitude. Now, the issue is not about us failing to do the same kind of structure sentiment at those levels, but if you're to look at how each and everything has been resolving over time, we go through a series of what has been said before us, and that's what we also go by. Now, and if you're to look at how it went down for the youth structures in these elections, we have not done bad according to how maybe support should be like, because if we have scooped all the positions right now, it means that even if we are to get to the same mobilization energy at those levels, we could be able to table out to the same magnitude. And maybe it's not that we have failed to get the opportunity, but not everyone that is into the youth structures sets the support for the people that are coming into those other positions. So that's what I would really say. But I would also want to hint on one thing, and that is facilitation. Here, of course, we could say that we have been facilitated, but we still lack a little small kind of strong facilitation in terms of what we call that. For us to come from this ground,
yes,
and to make sure that we do the same sentiment at those levels, we need a strong facilitation in terms of each and everything, mentorship, to talk of the finances, talk of all those aspects. Exactly, that
Thank
is
you.
it.
Chebet, why is your party looked at as a party for all chaps? That maybe you don't have ideas that young people do identify themselves with. Why is it that it's still very hard for you to align with the young people, most especially in urban areas?
Thank you very much. I think this time round, we are not going to do the same things we did maybe last time or what.
What happened last time?
Last time it was a wave. We did bad, but this time round, we are coming back stronger.
Okay.
And this time round, I've seen a lot of young people coming in for those bigger positions. They've not only gotten stuck in the maybe youth elections or youth structures. I've seen young ladies coming out to stand for MP. I've seen young ladies coming up, young women, young men coming up for mayorship positions. So this time round, we are going to stand out. It's not only for old champs, not old.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are coming up. We are going to do better. And this time round, it's not going to be the same. It's not only for young champs.
Yeah.
We are grooming.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are doing our best.
Good. Coming to you, Karunji. She says it's not a party for old chaps and all that, but we've seen what has been, for example, trending online about people that look to be tired. I don't want to call them old because being old is not a crime. We are all going to grow old at a certain time. It's actually golden. It's a privilege, and we should be able to respect and be proud of people that are of old age. But the question is, where do we see young people being able to take up those positions, most especially in the party? In order for us to say, actually, this party is having full representation of all demographics.
Thank you so much. But at least currently, when you look at the participation of the young people in the party, young people have involved and young people have participated. Our NRM chairman of NRM of Nakawa district,
yes,
he's a youth, and actually is the youngest youth leader, is the youngest chairman of NRM in Uganda, Wagaba Isma. So it motivates. Actually, all his executive is full of the youth. So actually, it you know, these big positions comes with a lot of hard work, mentorship. So we are busy at least mentoring ourselves and the courage, the confidence. You can't just come up and take over, but we've seen it happen. Me, when I look at Isma now being the chairman of the NRM of a district as a young person, it gives me courage. You get it? So this means that formerly we lacked young people to look up to. Like, we were not mentored, but now we are.
Okay.
Both financially and what. So we are even embracing the government programs that have come up. You know, a lot has been happening. Maybe we lacked mentorship in maybe economic empowerment and what. But now we are trying. We are embracing the government programs that have come up. PDM has come up. So whatever we are doing on ground is giving people confidence in us that we can now have courage to stand. I can come up, you may find next time I come up as an MP because now I know what I'm doing and I know what really people need. Maybe formerly, people were not mentoring the ground, people were not, and also the young people are looked at as a threat. You know, sometimes we are shattered by our own. You get it? You come up as a vibrant person, and at the end of the day, you are shattered, and you get frustrated. So a lot of challenges have been happening to young people. It's not that they don't have the courage, maybe they don't want, they have the interest. But at the end of the day, they are frustrated by actually by the environment where we are. And not only by the NRM members or what, even the community itself. You get it? You come up as a young person, you're too vibrant, and you really want to work for the people. You're really vying for a position, a bigger position. But the community itself comes up and says, this is a very young person. Why don't you wait? You know? So at the end of the day, the real community that would embrace you to a certain position is the one that is frustrating you. So at least now we have mastered all those challenges. Formerly, maybe the young people had not noticed what exactly is limiting them, the fear or the what, but now we are very confident. One, at least now we know the gospel to preach. we now know the government programs that are on the ground.
Okay.
Actually, I also happen to be an LC1. I'm not only a youth leader, but I'm also an LC1.
Wow.
So I've interacted with the young, I've interacted with the old people. I now know exactly what is really going on the ground. So if I happen to come up now, it may be very difficult to defeat me.
In 2020, it was very difficult, 2020, 2021, for someone to put on a yellow t-shirt and move around town. Where do you get the confidence today to move around town putting on that t-shirt?
Yeah, it goes back to what I've told you, that young people had fear because they did not really know what they are. You find yourself that we are the majority now.
Does knowing what you are stop someone from hitting you up?
Like, we now know, now you cannot hit me because now I know what to do.
Exactly. What gives you that confidence is what we want to pick from.
Because ownership of the party.
Like the ownership?
Really?
Yes.
How do I have ownership of the party to have that confidence? It's not clear to me. I'm a young person back in any village in Kasubi, and I support the party. I believe in its ideologies and all that. Where do I get the confidence to say, let me put on this t-shirt and move? Because there are many that actually do support, but have the fear to even mention it that I'm pro this party because of the communities where they're coming from here in the central.
Because they are not confident of themselves.
So what do they need, or what can you do to make them confident?
They should really be proud of what they are and what they support. Because as I told you now, we now know the gospel to preach.
Does that provide them with security that actually that's what they would want to hear, that you can be able to move from Kasubi to town and no one is going to touch you?
But every Ugandan is entitled to security of the country.
That's not obvious. It's not.
It is obvious.
It didn't stop people from getting beaten in 2020. Anyway, maybe Brian will also be able to comment on that.
Yeah.
Why should any young person, as you answer that, choose to identify themselves as NRM, or why should anyone support the NRM party today?
Okay. Now, going back to the issue of why we feel so proud, or why so many young people now are okay moving, because you see, there is no threat. There is no threat. If there was, then we wouldn't have scooped all those positions. Go to Kamocha. We scooped all the positions.
The headquarters.
So, do you see any fear there? There is no fear.
Okay.
If there was, then we wouldn't come out to say that now me I'm standing as a chairperson of this village. We wouldn't. But we have scooped all the positions. So, that shows you that we own the party, we feel it, there is no fear, there is no threat. And that is because of the sentiment that the government has put up. Okay. Then going back to the question of why we do.
Why would any young person, how can you encourage any young person out there to support the NRM party? Why?
Now, you see, any foundation of a community goes by what has been provided on ground. And that is you being a participant in any kind of leadership, you see. Because leadership or politics does not stop you from coming together. Or, okay, it is there to bridge gaps and bring people closer together. That's why we have the politics.
Okay.
And that's why people should take up all these positions. So, there is no one who is stopping you to support any party, or if you support it right, with all the right sentiment, it is okay. Then come out with your party, or if you're NRM, it is okay. Come in the open and support your party. No one is stopping you. Politics is there to bridge the gaps, not to build walls.
Okay.
And you see, with parties, a party gives a foundation. That's why I love NRM, because for it shows you the way and it sets the foundation for you as a young person, which is not being done by other parties. That's why now I come up and say NRM party is a good party, because it has showed me a foundation to start on. Look at what the government has provided, Emyoga, the PDM, every young person is getting this money. Where would Brian get all this money if I wasn't maybe supporting all these government programs? Now, young people need to know that the parties that are there are not there to divide you in terms of any aspect, but rather give you a foundation. NRM is bringing these programs, empowerment, financially to the young people. And now I also want to take this chance. Now that I've gotten a chance, I need you to, all the young people, to know that politics doesn't stop you from acquiring all these government programs. The PDM, the Myoga, the YLP, the GROW, these are initiatives that you should take up. Whether you're NOOP, whether you're what, this is the role of the government. So you shouldn't stop coming to receive all this empowerment because you're against the government or what. So that is also a taking to the young people.
Okay.
That's why I tell you that it is okay. Young people need to come up, be in parties, be in politics. Politics is there to build a foundation, not to build walls. And because the one issue that we focus on is the long-term good that we get from this, not to the short-term gain. And you know, people almost confuse all that. If it is me, a Brian Inaman, and I've come up to say that I need this, I may look at a thing when it is just short-term gain. But a party looks at a long-term opportunity that everyone is getting out of this. So that's why they should come up. That's why you should support NRM, not any other party. No, 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 no.
Okay.
There is why we show you that NRM still has the potential. The president is there to help us. We are settling for the best. We have tested it all, and we need to now see where we head with the right leadership. Not to be this. No, we don't. Other parties do this, and you do
What
not
is
even.
this?
Now, this is making the young people come, shield them, in order to pass their own agenda,
Okay.
which is not being done by the NRM.
What is their agenda?
The agenda is to pass their own issues that we do not know. Do you know why the young people are being told to? If the government has come up to say that you do not have to wear all those military kind of costumes, and yet a party is shielding young people, making parades, then which agenda now do they have? Have you seen NRM do that for over the years that we have been in leadership as a ruling party? You've not seen. So which means that these other parties have a hidden agenda that I cannot disclose me to. But NRM doesn't have anything hidden.
Okay.
Come settle for the best, be empowered for the better future.
Thank you. Chebet, what are you doing as the Youth Council to make sure that the youth in Central are benefiting from all the government programs?
Thank you very much. We are the Youth Council of Kampala Central. We are doing more sensitization. We are making sure that every youth is accounted for in the community. Like of recent, I think it was a month ago, we had a sensitization program. We were going to each and every parish, sensitizing the youth about the existing government programs, doing accountability of whoever received or has ever benefited from the government programs. So we got to realize that most of the young people, few of them didn't know, but most of them have benefited from them. Let me say, for example, in my parish, I come from Kololo. We have very few youth, but me as a youth, I made sure most of them have gotten the PDM money, and they are doing the right thing with it.
Okay.
And we've, we have our circle. Actually, it's the only existing Emyoga circle, the Youth Leaders Circle, the Kampala Central Youth Leaders Circle. We have, they've audited us, and the government is going to add us more money. And it's one of the only existing, I repeat it, one of the only existing youth circle in Kampala. So we are making sure each and everyone is sensitized. Each and everyone knows where to get them, where to access the government programs from. For example, we've seen youth benefiting from the Youth Capital Venture Fund. We've seen youth benefiting from the Youth Livelihood Fund. It's a urban city, but most youth have benefited from those programs. Whoever has not benefited, they are also doing more. They are making more groups to make sure the young people are getting the programs and going to the right people. We've done sensitization and we are doing monitoring because that is our job. We do more monitoring, we sensitize and identify the youth who can benefit from the government programs. And so far, with the help of our KCCA, our youth officer, the gender department, we've sensitized, and the youth are benefiting. Yes.
Thank you. Karunji, what are the biggest challenges that your youth in Kampala Central are facing, and what are you doing about it?
Thank you so much. Actually, most of the youth, we are lacking information. They did not know what programs are there. They did not know where exactly to go, and they did not know what exactly they should do. For example, if they are supposed to get money from the bank, which bank, whom to see, where. So that has been a challenge that most of the parishes or most of the communities where they are, they really lacked, and there were many, as you know, if you compare all the total of the youth in the community. So that has been a challenge, like the information flow. And another thing, as you know, Kampala has a setting. Most of them, most of them starting up a business. You know, the programs that we have, most of them are for boosting the businesses. And most of them, a youth starting a business would not start it with most of the government money. Because if you get PDM, 1 million, you should have an existing So starting has also been a challenge to them in the business status. So another thing, a mindset change has also been a challenge. Like they have not been mentored or trained about what should really be done. So you find the youth having a very different perspective on an issue. So driving that youth to a rightful thing has also been a challenge to them. So it has also been limiting them to really access what they should get. For them, they are those youth that really knew this government money is a token of thanks. You get it? So if really leaders get to hear that you're saying, this Emyoga money should be shared. If there are 30 million, 30 people. So no one would allow you to access that money because you've already said you're going to share it. So you end up not accessing in that way. So lack of that training to really divert their mindset to the right thing, what they should do and how they should do it. Actually, I think those are the challenges. And another thing is limitation by the people already in the system. As I told you, you know, young people come up with that vibrancy. They really want to work. They really want to do things, but they've been lacking mentors. And this is what we are doing as leaders. You'll find that this generation that has come up into leadership now, they are all very young people. Why? We want the people who are going to take over after us to really be when they are through our mentorship. The chance that we did not get. You get it? So there is also that challenge of people not mentoring. Youth have been lacking mentorship. You enter office, you're not trained, you don't really know what to do, you're not guided, because youth council does not pay. You don't get salary. But you really need to be guided on how to acquire what you're supposed to get and deliver to the youth. Because we are taken as the political wing, we fall under political, and we are guided by the gender department. So this means our work as youth leaders is to really, I think, shout, these youth need to get YLOP, but we are not hands-on. So if we come into office and we are not really mentored by the seniors,
Yes.
or by the department where we fall, it really becomes a challenge. You end up finishing the whole term without doing anything because you're not guided. Wherever you try to do something that is contrary to the gender department, you're doing work of other people, and you may end up being charged. Why are you really doing this work, as you know? So that has also been a challenge. But we are trying so hard to make sure that these young people who are coming after us, we are there to guide. We are really trying hard to change the status of the generation and to make work easy for them.
Okay, thank you. Brian, where she stops on the issue of mobilization, what is the role of youth in mobilizing for the NRM party, most especially around this time of the elections? Because that's what you do. After the elections, you keep quiet. 1 year to the elections, you come back and make a lot of noise. So when it comes to this mobilization of making the noise and getting ready for the general elections, what is the role of you as the youth? But also, where are you given opportunities to have your ideas presented? For example, when it comes to the decisions that are made at the Secretariat, where do we see the role of young people? And that plays in all these elections that we do have, where the big wigs will want to really have control over everything. And you find that for the Karunjis that have been on ground, the LOC one, that know who is who, are not really given the opportunity to be able to mobilize the people and use the correct strategies they've been using to administer the village, but then the party ends up losing in the end. So where do we see the role of you as the youth?
Now, that goes into setting a foundation, because anything that doesn't have a foundation will automatically in the near future fall, and that is not what we want. We want this to be generational. We want it to take it on even to the other leaders that will come in. And young people here, we need to set what the message has been provided out loud. We need to magnify on what the government is providing. That is how we are able to mobilize. That is how we are able to set the pace. Now, in us trying to magnify what the government has brought, we are also bringing other new people to our party, which is not automatically given as a role, but it comes in as an added advantage to what we are calling for. When we go to the ground and tell young people that these programs that have been brought up are for everyone, they will come and they will see the good in what the government is providing, not what the other people want them to see contrarily. That is why we have to be on ground to set a foundation, to call for other people to join us, and to also make sure that we magnify our voices, we as young people, because at the end of it all, we need to see young people occupy these offices, not the golden ages. That's why we are being in the right places of mentorship. We are being around people that have to guide us. I've been guided by the two that you see here. But all that is making us being shaped right to see that at least when those golden ages are out of office, we have the right position to say that now Brian can occupy this office, which is what we want. And as you said, that we normally don't see the young people's voices in the decision-making processes, that now stages a question to we, the young people. Where are we, the youth? Are we not existing, or do we simply not maybe try to send a message to them? Our voices falling on deaf ears, that Brian is not in the secretariat yet, or that Gloria is not occupying the right office, that Kalunji is not the RDC as a young person? Where are we not seeing these young people? Now that goes to the people that are occupying those offices. As how she said, that sometimes the community may coming up and they see maybe she has the qualities, but then it sets her pace down. But that shouldn't be the way. If you see Brian has the potential, please pick him up. If you see Gloria has the capabilities, the capacity, pick her up. Because we need to see those offices being led by young blood. Which is why I support these young MPs that are coming up. I support it. Go take on to all those positions. We are not fighting our people that are in government, but we are trying to set a ground for our voices to come, at least to get away from the shadows. We shouldn't be behind the cameras every time. If I bring up a concept and it is workable, I present it to you. Yes, shield it out with me. Don't now shield me against that. That's why we are saying that this time around, we have a young man coming up, and I really like what he does. Our general is a young blood, just like us. And we are taking on those positions alongside him, supporting all what it takes. And also, if I get to notify young people around, I will go pick them up. I support them with what they need to thrive. And that is empowerment financially, empowerment in ideological development. That's what we need as young people. And at the end of it all, you will see brands in those offices, and that will have to be now what we set foot forward at the beginning of our race. We have started this journey. We are not yet to retire, and we are not yet to tire down. But we are taking on the mantle.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. As we get close to the end of the show, Chebet, what message do you have for young people out there, and what can you say to encourage them to actually fully participate in these elections, but also in terms of making sure that these elections are as peaceful as possible?
To every young person there, let's fully engage in these activities. Whether you see an open vacant, make sure you directly participate. Where you see potential, make sure you be there. Let's not be violent in all this. In the all political season, let's not be violent. Let's occupy those spaces. Let's stop complaining, saying our voices are not heard, yet we are backbenchers. Let's come and stand out. Let's speak for ourselves. Where you see a vacancy, where you see potential, where you see that you can be there, make sure you're there, and make sure you're there at the right time. Let's stand out. Let's stop being backbenchers.
Okay, thank you. Karunji, your last comments?
Thank you so much. What I can say to the young people is, let's love ourselves and embrace our potential. Let's take over. Let's not fear. Let's be confident of ourselves, and let's love our life. Like, if we don't really love ourselves, this is where we come up violent on certain issues. Because politics is just a game and it's a season. Why would you really cause issues for your life because of a political space? And let's take over, because you can never control any decision where you don't participate.
You're not in charge. Yep.
Where you're not in charge.
Thank you.
So I think let's embrace this this chance and take over. Let's involve ourselves. That's the only way we can really change whatever we want.
Thank
Let's
you.
not shout behind the curtains and something is not
Come and take
changing.
on the mantle. Thank you. Brian, in just a minute.
In just a minute, may I want to tell all the viewers that this is the right time to dream of a Uganda that we have been waiting for, a Uganda where every young citizen, regardless of your background, you have the potential to realize your full opportunities in potential and contribute to the nation's growth, for not just you as an individual, but for us all. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian, and thank you all for being a part of today's discussion. I believe you have been able to learn a thing or two. Have they been convincing enough for you to be able to join the NRM ruling party? Maybe, maybe not. You have your reasons for whichever choice you make. But what is in unison is that we all need to be peaceful. Whichever decision you make, whichever party you belong to, we both are Ugandans, and we need to be able to practice our rights respectfully, do what we are supposed to do in the right way, and make sure that actually you get involved in these elections. Go and compete for those positions as young people and make sure that your voices are actually heard. I thank you so much for watching this show. My name is Ivan Tumkunde. Have yourselves a good evening.
Youth of Purpose.
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the Special Interest Group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.